Hello, so as I mentioned before, this is the video of my January drawing reviews. And by review, I mean recap. So I am posting this a little late. I know it's being posted in February, but I never got around to recording some of the videos. How I'm gonna do this is I will first go over what I've done on the live stream drawings. I'll go over a little bit on some of the color paint, and then I'll talk a little bit more about the portrait sketches I've been doing as well. Don't expect like a guide or anything. This is just more of a recap. Okay, and then we get into Krita. So January, I think was it the 11th. I didn't do anything too complicated because it's the first time I'm streaming over a year, a little over a year, I believe. I wanted to ease myself back in. I think for this, I've picked out a canvas textured brush, a canvas with a textured background, provided by Ramon Miranda. And then I found a ballpoint pen texture brush, something that I don't usually draw with, from Krita Artist Forum. I'll put a link to both of these in the description somewhere, if I remember to. So I started out with just drawing simple shapes for this particular day. Kind of like how the ballpoint pen texture looks in this textured background. I think I needed 2 pictures in this point. This is another church or tall building. I don't really draw churches a lot. I'm not really that fussed about buildings in general. But I figured because I was drawing primitives, buildings are really primitive. Yeah. So that's that. And then on the 14th, so the 14th I started the stream, but I didn't draw this. I think a few days before the 14th I drew this, and for those who don't know, this is a character called Nato from the PlayStation 2 game 7 Samurai 20XX. The game is a bit rubbish by today's standards, but I really liked it because the character designs and the music was really great. I thought based on the cover it would be like an open world post-apocalyptic beat 'em up where you can choose your characters and there might be some crafting and all that stuff, but it's nothing like that. It's just like it is just a beat 'em up that slows down when there's too many enemies on the screen. So I drew this character because I think it's cool. And then on the live stream I thought, let me try redrawing this character in the pose. So this is the mannequin. It's a little bit of Riley body abstraction, and then after drawing the mannequin, try to draw in the forms. This is like the second week, so I'm still a bit rusty, and it looks a bit goofy if I'm being honest, but it's okay. Oh, okay. So this isn't. I'm gonna start this on the 14th. This is the week after, on the 26th, where I really wanted to get used to drawing clothes on characters, since I'm slowly trying to draw characters, full figure characters. Knowing how to draw clothes would be prudent. So on this file I tried drawing a t-shirt, and then closed it, started a new file. So this is on the day of the 26th, so carried on. This is so front view of clothes. This is just a shirt, hoodie, zipped up jacket, hoodie. Surprisingly, I don't usually draw the human anatomy like this. It's just a happy coincidence that it turned out to look like this. And why I'm making this a point is because I have been struggling drawing human figures. If you look at my past streams, I've drawn nothing but portraits. But in between, I've been slowly doing little bits of human anatomy studies. Nothing too detailed, not to the academic standards that you might see other people do. This was almost a 2-hour stream. I think it was a little over an hour and 30 minutes. Drew a hoodie. The reason I wanted to draw a hoodie is mostly for the that box set character. I see him wearing something like this. And I have a book, Morpho, Morpho, by, I think it's Michelle Loricella. Clothing folds and creases. It's more of a reference book rather than a book of rather than an instructional book. So if you're looking for, and I'm still looking for like an abstraction method for clothing. So far it seems like you have to memorize the types of clothing folds, and then after you draw your mannequin. And something I've been doing is, on another layer, draw like a basic shape for the clothes, and then you go through that list of folds types and crease types, and then identify where they would appear. That's generally how I think I might need to go ahead when drawing clothes now. And then on I think the final week of January, I drew this guy, the box set character. So took some of the what I was doing from the week before and drew him. It's not complete, to be honest. I would like to shade this in, and yeah, that's it. Okay, so around about December 2025, I thought about making pictures using a program called Color Paint. Color Paint, think of it as like an open source version of Microsoft Paint. And I initially wanted to do some silly little pictures just to post on Twitter, and for days when I don't feel like drawing. This was an attempt at drawing the Street Fighter 6 thumbnail picture on Steam. If you can guess who he is, leave a comment. But this was on December. Then on January, I thought, let me try and make what would happen if I put a little bit of effort in to trying to make something look good. Using color paint is already hard as it is, so trying to make something original is going to be too difficult. So I thought, let me try and make a copy of something. So I went on Pexels. This is a photo by Erkan Akayalcin. Seagulls is not the full name, but it has seagulls in it. So what I did is I just picked out a random Pexel photo, and rather than draw the whole thing, I try to take a small part section of it and try to make a copy of it. This zoomed out. Seeing this fully looks a bit rubbish, I guess. But if you zoom out a bit, it kind of looks like you don't see all the hard edges as much, and it kind of looks okay. This next photo is from Daniel Schwartz, red and white striped lighthouse and thistle. It's hard. The challenge with this one was trying to get the colors to gradient well with each other. And using a program like Color Paint is hard to do because the color wheel isn't as accessible, and I'm so used to having the color picker shortcut onto the control key, whereas on this program you have to click C, pick up color, and then and then manually switch back to the brush. This one, I don't know what it is. It's in the title. I didn't feel like drawing on this particular day. And then on what was this? The 21st, I decided there was two drawings. Pardon me. The two drawings of the same thing. Photo was by Guru Dio, teapot beside a bowl of fruit, and some of you might know about this. There's a thing called notans. So this is where you just draw a picture using just two colors. Well, technically one. I used black, and then used the white of the paper, or in my case, the white of the canvas, as the secondary color. And the idea is that you're forced to look at objects as a shape. This might be seen as a positive one, and this is a negative one. I don't know which way around it is, but as you can see, I think I started off doing this one first, and then I colored in the background as a full black. Only because I think I wanted a bit more contrast. I like to have a bit more contrast between the foreground and the background. I think in the original photo, the background isn't really that dark. I think you could get away with just having a solid white as a background. But I like to have the contrast. So I decided to color the background in black. And there's a bit more detail here. But you doing these notans forces you to see values at 2D shapes, and you don't need to worry about the gradations because you're only dealing with two value tones. And then this one I'd say isn't really complete, but I kind of got bored of it. It's by Diego Colmont, historic bell tower of a church. This isn't the full church, it's actually buildings on the side leading towards the church, but I decided to pick out the top bell tower section of the church and painted that in. Some of the color palette here, I realized that at some point I wanted to get back to this, but if I close, I'd have to say I lose the color palette changes that I've made. So, and I didn't want to save them because I don't want to go through the hassle of clicking on file, import palette every time I reload a program or every time I load this particular picture. So I thought, let me pick out, sample the colors out, save it as an image, and then once I'm happy with how a picture is going, I could just erase the colors. That's what I've done so far on January using color paint. Okay, January drawing review. I'm gonna start from a little earlier, from December, just because I did more complete drawings, I guess, from December. These are just line inking practices. Who's it from? I can't remember. I'll put the name down in the description, so nothing important. 10 points to anyone who can guess who this is. I'm not quite sure why I did this. I think it has something to do with wanting to draw dramatic posing. How mostly high and low horizon line give that effect, whereas if you have the horizon line set in the middle, it isn't as dramatic. The Gundam Wing, what's his name? Leo. Yeah, anyone who watched Gundam Wing wouldn't recognize this by far, and I know I'm not alone. This is probably the best Gundam. I don't care what anyone says. Even their own fandom would buy out stocks of this guy. Unfortunately, I don't have the space to buy these Gundam Wing figures. So even if I do make them, I don't have anywhere to put them. Although I would love one. But the second best is I can at least draw one. I really like how it's articulate. Like it's so utilitarian, this design, and I just really like the articulation of how it is appeared. If that makes sense. These are some like random joints. It's not part of this, but I thought when it came to drawing the arms, elbows, and knees, I think the models, they're double jointed. So I just want to know how a double joint looks. I don't think this is the double joint, but it'd be more like this. And some sketches in Biro. More some comic idea thing. I saw a Blue Sky post about someone talking about their favorite animal being a maned wolf. Funny enough, it's not a canine or a vulpine, nor is it a cat. It's its own thing. And I can't remember the species name for it. It looks like a wolf trying to cosplay it as a fox. I say try, but I think it's kind of convincing. But they have really long limbs, interestingly enough. Yeah. Rio Rollins, I just like her character design. So much so I tried drawing her again. At the time I thought it looked pretty good, but I don't know. I think a few things could improve. This hand is giving me some problems because it's foreshortened. Ignore the hand. I tried. Uh, after I inked it with the biro, I just want to move on. I don't think I could censor it, although it's not exactly not safe for work. Probably I'll just blur out just in case. This is the start of January. Just working on some back studies. I used one of the Morpho books for this one as reference. I tried doing a twist. It's not exactly correct because I straightened this one out when I think that upper torso would be tilted a little bit more, and I think the obliques is a bit too prominent. Like I don't think you'd be able to see as much of how I've drawn it here. The obliques, separate. This is a scapula, you know, your shoulder bone. No, shoulder blade. Sorry. Line Sensei. He does good tutorials. Yeah, and that's it. Doing another update. I've done a few more lines. So put in a rough indication what the nose is. At some point. Okay, first things first. I kind of gone off a little bit from using the proportion divider because there's only so many lines I could. There's only so many points I could put. Most of the lines here are so faint that it's actually quite hard to pinpoint where I'm getting these dots. So that is to say, at this point, I'm just gonna get a copy of the reference picture and then just draw through that through sight, basically. But I think it's roughly there. What I'll do is I'll continue making marks and then verify whether they're accurate with this sketch, and then see where it goes on. Oh, and the other thing, I've slightly raised this paper up so that it's on eye level now. And another thing to note is that the tape keeps coming off. That I put the masking tape on, and stick it to the on the carpet to get rid of some of the stickiness. Otherwise, I just tear apart the paper. You could see there where I kind of that same similar thing happened. Yeah.